Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Crystal, and today I'm going to be working on this little vintage magazine rack table. I paid $3 for this. I cleaned everything really well before I did my scuff sand. I'm just using a 80 grit sandpaper and just quickly sanding it just so my paint will have a good rough surface to adhere to. And I'm using this Rust-Oleum brand chalk paint in the color called Blue Harbor. I have the table flipped over upside down and I'm painting the legs and the underside first. I'm going to go for a layered paint effect on this piece, so I'm not super worried about getting great coverage. My paint is really old and it's thick, so I'm struggling with it a little bit, and it's definitely going to give me a textured feel on this piece, but that is okay. I am just working with what I got here. When layering paint, you want to kind of dry brush everything anyways. So I'm going to be able to see some of that wood pulling through the paint layers, and it gives it that really cool, worn weather effect. For my next color, I am using Laurentyn by Fusion brand, and I'm just going to be dry brushing this onto my Blue Harbor color. I'm not using a whole lot of paint, and I'm just making a really thin layer, thin coat, so I can see the other layers kind of peeking through. I'm going to be using some 2-ply napkins to decoupage the little magazine holders on either side of this little table. So I need to separate the napkin to get the backing off. So it's really easy. You just have to pull it apart, grab it with your fingernail, pull it apart and separate it. You can dispose of the white napkin part, and then this will be the part that I will be transferring on. I'm using a decoupage medium called Mod Podge. I'm just using an old paintbrush to apply the Mod Podge. And I'm trying to not get it too thick in areas because when I apply my napkin, it will cause it to tear quite possibly, but I also don't want it too thin where my napkin doesn't adhere. So you kind of got to find a happy medium there, not too thick and not too thin. Using napkins can be pretty tricky to decoupage with because they are so super thin. I am not one of those type of people that is a perfectionist, and I absolutely love the wrinkles that I receive from decoupaging with these napkins. So, if that is something that is maybe not your style, I would think about using something that is more thick and more durable than a napkin. I'm using a piece of saran wrap just balled up to smooth out all of my napkin, and this does help get rid of a lot of the wrinkles. If you use your fingers, sometimes it can tear super easily. So I found through watching other people do this that this is probably one of the easiest ways to get your napkins to adhere onto your piece pretty smoothly without tearing. So it's very important to wait till your decoupage medium is completely dry before you remove any trim or excess areas of your napkin. It can tear very easily if it's not completely dry. I'm just using a old piece of sandpaper. This is a higher grit sandpaper, a 120, and I'm just lightly rubbing along the edges until my napkin comes off. I used my leftover piece of napkin that I pulled apart from my pattern piece, and I dabbed a little bit in some paint mixture that I had from a previous project, and I just tapped it all over the napkin just to give it a little bit more of an aged look and blend it a little bit better with the existing color that I painted the piece in. Lastly, I sealed everything with polyacrylic, even the napkins. And that was pretty much it, you guys. Let me know what you think down in the comments. I love to read them, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you all have a great day. Bye.